back at main camp. Our round trip was about 90 k's. Yeah, it was 47 from when we got back onto the tar road, so 90 k's. And that was just a small little piece of Wanky National Park. It was sad to see the fire we caught. I don't know how much of the fire we seen, but we drove through definitely from our turnoff back onto the tar road. There was 20 k's, and before that maybe another 15, 20 k's as well. So it looked like it was just following the wind direction. On the way back, if I can twist Tabo's arm, I'd like to pass by the wild dog conservation scheme that's going on, and maybe at Wanky Safari Lodge. They got a nice viewing platform there as well. Wanky Safari Lodge looks more like an airport to me. Nice. They do know how to pick their spots though. Let's have a look inside. Game spotted at the lodge, water wall on drives from the lodge. October 2017. What was seen today? What's today's date, perhaps? 23rd, 24th? Zebra. Oh, the antelope. A lion was seen on the 22nd. White rhino. Oh, white rhino on the 1st of October. Leopard, 1st of October. Lion was on the 21st and 22nd. Black rhino, nothing. Oh, those that I thought were gemsbok, they're actually roan sable, roan antelope. Wanky Safari Lodge, beautifully put together. Pool right there where you can watch the animals come out of the forest drinking water. Have a look at this. What are we talking here? $200 a night, Tubbs? Look at this bad boy. Yeah, there you go, Richard Branson. Or you could come sit with me by the fire. 10 US a night. I'll give it to you for 9. Less than 5 k's from Wanky Safari Lodge, you got the Painted Dog Conservation. David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation. Darwin Initiative. Thank you.
Is this your first time here?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So I'll start by giving you one of our brochures which just has some of our information here.
Ryan?
Do it, Painted Dog, yes. The name
All
is
right.
Ryan. Then I'll explain through the map on the wall what to expect here. Right now we're here at the Vista Center, and our main attraction here at the Vista Center is our interpretive wall, which is right through that arc. It explains the story of one of the extraordinary dogs we had in Hwange National Park, as well as the life cycle of a painted dog, plus the seasonal changes in Hwange National Park. Then we have our painted dog rehabilitation facility, which is more of a hospital for our dogs. We only keep injured, orphaned, and sick dogs. So far we have some dogs that side, which some guys will also show you and explain more about. Then we have a children's bush camp, where we often have about 18 local schools that come in for a minimum of 4 days. We get to teach them about conservation, as well as all the wildlife around Hwange National Park. And then, since some of the local school children will not be able to pay for their accommodation plus food, their expenses are subsidized by the other schools from the surrounding cities such as Harare and Zimbabwe. Then we have our raised walkway here, which passes through our enclosure. There are no dogs in the enclosure, so sometimes some people prefer to take the shortcut to go to the rehab facility.
That's the one.
All right. Okay. So yeah, the guys definitely won't tap into that. This is our interpretive wall. As I explained before, explaining the story about one of the extraordinary dogs by the name of Ice Horse that we have in Hwange National Park. Our story begins from chapter 1, ending up all the way around to chapter 7. Written in 2 languages, in English and Isindebele. Then, since we have different animal species in each and every chapter, we have them explained in English terms, scientific terms, Shona, Debele, Nambe, and Dome that they speak around also. So, if you'd like to know more in detail information about the dogs, the boards on the sides also explain more, as well as the books on the sides of the different animal species you'd want to know about, which are in each and every painting. Then on the ground, you have some of the different spores that you are likely to encounter when tracking animals as well. And then on the boards on the sides have a more of an up-to-scale look of the wildlife around as well. So if you just follow the fence line, after about 300 meters you see a yellow, orange-green building here. There's a green gate that you go through, and then some guys will be helping you that side. So inform them that you're coming and they'll be expecting you there.
Alright, thanks.
Okay.
How you can help. I'll put the information in the description box down below. Website www.painteddog.org. It's a shame when things have to come to this, isn't it?
Yeah. But good work there. Thank you.
Yeah,
Little numbers that we still have.
these things, all animals once roamed the whole of Africa. I'm just speaking about Africa itself. Now it's got to come to this. Electrical fences and stuff. Believe it or not, painted dogs, or wild dogs as they're called, are also poached, killed. For one reason or another, medicine, their furs, and exported to you know where. Are they sick?
No.
No?
Okay. That's Roman.
Who?
Roman.
Yeah, Roman. She's 10.
10 years.
Mm-hmm. Converting it to human years, she's 70.
70.
Wow. No wonder
What do
she's
you
having
mean?
an afternoon nap.
What do you mean
Okay.
convert?
My human years, as in Jan, 1 year is equivalent to 7 years old.
Serious?
Mm.
How come? How does that work?
When we say 1 year after 7 years.
Wow. So 2018 is still it's say it's 10 years, like
Yeah,
you
we
say.
say it's 10 years. So
2018
after 7 years, we
it's
say
11 years.
yeah.
So that thing is 70 years.
Yeah.
Real, or just figures?
Dog years,
Real.
not human years.
Okay.
Okay, so
She
here
feels
is the
70.
rehabilitation facility. We do take care of the injured dogs, the orphaned ones, and the sick ones. But unfortunately, at the moment, we've got one dog.
No,
Which is
that's
a good
fortunate. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good sign.
sign. We've got one dog, and that's Matthew. But he'll be released soon back to the world.
And when he's released, does he know how to find his...
Brothers.
When they are releasing them, they release him where there is his pack.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
So they track
Either
them.
way, they know that his pack is a certain place.
Hmm.
Then for Roman is here permanent. He came from as an orphan. He was born in captivity at Chipangani.
All right.
So they brought him here. Unfortunately, we know that he can't survive in the world because he doesn't have those skills.
All right.
Now, when
Okay.
they released him back, they said she always came standing by the side.
At Chipangani.
No,
Or here.
When they brought him here,
Oh,
they
shame.
put him in the bush, and
Wants
she
to come
kept
back.
coming back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
shame.
they lost the skills to survive in the bush. So he wants to come home. It's like a domestic animal now. They'll always go and come back home.
Yeah, no, so now it's living here for permanent. Then we do take care of her. Then we are using her for educational purposes. There are local schools and other schools from abroad which come here for lessons. So we do show them the painted dogs. Some haven't seen them.
Yeah, I've seen them in a zoo in London and it's pathetic. Honest.
So he doesn't bite. He's very friendly. His taste.
When it comes to Roman is different from Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah, Matthew is very wild, unlike Roman.
So Roman can come here, can pet him.
But I can't say that I can pet you.
You give him disease, you tabs. Who knows what you carrying?
All right. Well, for those purposes, yeah, maybe.
So when they're in the captivity, we do feed them on cow meat and dog meat. Sorry, goat meat.
Okay.
Cow meat and
Goat.
goat meat.
So you buy goats for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dead bait or live bait?
Live.
Live.
But we don't kill them.
You what?
They kill slaughter for
Oh,
him.
you
Slaughter.
kill them for the
Yeah.
dogs. Okay.
See, I've got market for my goats now.
Yeah, we can take it outside.
How about that?
So in the afternoon, this time of the day, they sleep in?
They do?
They sleep this time of the day?
Yeah, it's just that it's hot, so we spend most of the time sleeping.
And then when are they
But
active?
they do bathing, that is a dish over there.
What's there?
Which they do use for bathing,
Oh, okay.
and it's very hot.
Catch a shower.
Unlike you, Tabs.
Yeah, I may bath once a year.
What's it?
Save water.
Oh, that one is who?
That's Roman.
Okay. These guys can run, Tabo. Endurance athletes.
They can catch you, man.
At a constant pace of,
I don't know.
you don't know?
Yeah.
25 Ks for half an hour.
Serious?
Yeah.
25 Ks an hour for half an hour.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the kudu getting tired and they just...
Well, that's even before they started hunting. That's not the hunting speed.
Wow.
So what's in here? Your laboratory?
Oh, it's not even a laboratory. We do, the research team go every day in the morning and evening for checking. Have you seen the dogs at the park?
No, we didn't see even one carnivore.
Is it?
No. My driver here.
It's too fast.
The collar. The dogs are collared for trekking.
Yeah.
Okay. So the research team goes every day in the morning and in the evening for trekking. That's where they collect all the pictures samples, which we do take the experiment. There's the prey species analysis and the parasitology. That's what we do.
What do you collect? Sorry?
Prey species analysis will be finding out what the dogs favor, what the dogs eat.
Yeah.
Then we do the parasitology where we'll be checking on the parasites present in the dogs.
Cool. It's a much bigger operation than I thought. And where is Greg Rasmussen? I looked for him at Mana Pools. I come here, they tell me he's at the falls. I've just come from the falls.
Baba namdingo wako anatwa
Greg Rasmussen has dedicated his life to the survival of the wild dog. First met him in the mid-80s when we done some work for a trade exhibition stand he had at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair. And then I seen him just after 2010, I think it was, in England. He was raising funds, spreading awareness. So I'm stalking him. See, it's not only the Kenyan athletes that I stalk. I stalk men that set out to achieve what's in their heart. And they do it. Men, women. Doesn't matter. As long as they walk upright. I'm gonna stalk them if they have that purpose fulfilled in them. So try to find Greg at Mana Pools. Didn't know he was in the falls. Came down here to Wanky. Not here. So Greg, just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for your hard work, and to everybody else that puts in the hard work into this place. To the donors, to the government as well. You know, it's not just one man's effort, it's teamwork. So information up on the screen down below. Have a look. Thank you, Greg Rasmussen. I found a news article published on May the 12th, 2016. It's called Will Zimbabwe Sell Off Its Rare Painted Dogs, written by Carly Nain. It says, last week Zimbabwe announced that because of the drought that's ravaging the country and leaving 4 million Zimbabweans in need of food aid, it will destock its national parks and reserve by selling off wildlife. The announcement by the Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, also known as ZimParks, doesn't say when the sales would begin, nor does it specify which species would be offered and at what prices. Some of the country's animals can't be sold off, those already protected against sale or hunting under the Parks and Wildlife Act dating back to 1975. These include pangolins, pythons and rhinos. Elephants and lions aren't protected under the Act, and elephants in particular, given their high value, would most likely be priorities for sale. Surprisingly, African wild dogs, which are endangered continent-wide, aren't on Zimbabwe's no-sale list. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, which sets the conservation status of species, these elusive canids are critically endangered and number only 5,000 to 7,000 continent-wide. Zimbabwe claims it must sell wildlife to replenish its coffers in the face of cash shortages so extreme that ATMs can't be refilled, a scorching drought that's causing the country's exports of tobacco and maize to plummet, and a recent bid by the European Union to ban trophy hunting imports, which the government says would deprive the country of additional crucial revenue. The US Fish and Wildlife Service banned the import of elephant hunting trophies from Zimbabwe in 2014 on grounds that killing elephants for trophies there would not enhance the population's survival, a requirement under the Endangered Species Act. But Ross Harvey, a senior researcher at the South African Institute of International Affairs, says that if Zimbabwe had been governed responsibly, there would be no reason for it to put its wild animals up for sale. Zimbabwe's economy has been intensively mismanaged since the late 1990s, and the recent drought has had a more devastating effect than it otherwise would have if the economy was in fact being run properly. According to Harvey, the idea that the sale of elephants would help to assuage the country's economic woes is unworkable. He notes that there is no assurance that any money the government acquires from wildlife sales would be earmarked for conservation or drought relief in a system where lack of accountability has been baked in over a long time. Harvey says there's no guarantee that the money would be directed to those who need it most. Zimbabwe has been criticized by wildlife and animal rights advocates for its previous arrangements to use animals as financial leverage. In July 2015, the country exported 24 wild elephants to China, most of which died on arrival. How the money from the sale has been allocated remains an open question. And the killing of Cecil the Lion by Walter Palmer, an American dentist and trophy hunter in a private reserve bordering Wankie National Park, caused a furor that primed animal advocates to keep a critical eye on Zimbabwe. But so far, Zimpark has escaped widespread criticism for its new wildlife sale plan. One of the continent's largest populations of wild dogs, also called painted dogs for their splashes of black, tan, and gold on their coats, is in Wankie National Park. Although the exact numbers are unknown, experts believe that the park holds about 150. Zimbabwe as a whole may have around 700. Even without a crippling drought, survival is hard for wild dogs. They get caught in snares set by poachers seeking other animals, and many have been roadkill victims. At the news of the Zimpark's proposal to sell wildlife, Peter Blinston, the managing director of the Painted Dog Conservation, a non-profit based in Awangi, said he didn't believe that the dogs would be put up for sale. Painted Dog Conservation has very good relations with Zimparks, he said. Thus our standing carries some weight. And if there was talks of dogs being on the for sale list, we would fight hard, and I suspect we would win. Speculating on what animals Zimparks would find attractive to sell, Flintstone said there was a perceived abundance of elephants, yet their exact numbers, like those of wild dogs, are unknown. Estimates vary from a low of 60,000 to a high of 100,000. He also pointed out that in some areas impala are overrepresented. I don't think anything else is. If numbers play into the decision about which animals to sell, elephants and impalas would be high on the list. If impalas, an important food source for wild dogs, are sold and suffer drought losses as well, there would be a double whammy of deprivation for Zimbabwe's already troubled painted dogs. Zimparks and Zimbabwe Ministry of Environment, Water and Climate did not respond to requests for comment.
Amen, 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 amen.